Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm going to use the Idyllis Tarot, which is a smaller deck, but it's easy to shuffle, and I like the images on it. It is an Omnido. That's the creator, Omnido. There's this information with the what do we call it? I can't. My brain is not telling me what that's called, but put your camera thing on that or push that button, however that works, and you can find it. There's also the information there. I believe that they're just on Instagram. I found this deck on Amazon, I want to say. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. The oracle cards I'm going to use for this one is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. The website, where is Sandra's website? I want to say she has her own website, but here's the Hay House website on the bottom, just below her picture. And I thought she had her own, maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, I thought there was more websites. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. A bunch of Hay House websites. There they are, at the bottom. Okay, and last but not least, the dice I use a 21-sided dice for the major arcana, which does omit the Fool, but I make it work. And I believe that one is from this website, Tom Anders, and there's the information there if it focuses. If it's easier, here's another one of those. My brain cannot remember what you call that thing, but there it is. For the minor arcana, I use a 14-sided dice to choose the actual card, and then a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And the 14-sided dice came from here. I've had the 4-sided dice for the longest time. I couldn't tell you where they came from. I want to say it was Math Art Fun. Can't really see it here. Hopefully you can see it. mathartfun.com. All right, and that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you tune into them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? What is that feeling? Like, I feel like I'm really nervous to walk in a door. I'm like, I don't really want to walk in that door. I feel like that, which is strange. I just got that really out of nowhere, so let's see where that's going. For that, having that, well, the Wheel of Fortune is here. Maybe that's why. Because I'm like, for all these cards, well, I feel like I'm on the outside at the moment. I think that's why, too. I'm nervous to go in this door, but there's success waiting for you. Let's put out the Oracle cards before I go to... Yep. Maybe that's why. You're nervous to go through this door is what I'm getting, but I got new beginnings, too. So maybe this is something completely new to you. The information is coming. I feel like I don't know what I'm getting into. Or at the very least, I don't trust what I've been told. Kind of like, yeah, people have told me nice things before, but then when I get there, I'm nervous to walk in the door. I keep getting that energy. Like, I'm nervous to make that next step forward. I feel like you're very good at keeping your responsibilities taken care of your way. And when people leave you alone and stay out of your way and just let you do what you need to do, everything goes great. Everything goes wonderful. But there's something here about, like, I'm afraid to walk through this door because I don't want the control and I don't want people judging how I do things. I do what I do and I do it well, and that should be enough. But I know it won't be. I feel like at the same time, I know it won't be. I feel like you're nervous. I feel a lot of nerves here. Whatever this subject is about. Because you want to stay in control and you're not really sure if people are going to allow that. I want to stay in control of what I'm doing. I don't want people to try to put restraints on me and boundaries that are not going to work and going to hinder the success that I could have here. There could be a lot of success here, but if people are going to try to control me and make me do it their way, it's going to be greatly diminished. I need to be able to flourish and do it the way I need to in the moment when I need to, as I need to. I'm nervous. I keep feeling it. I keep feeling it over and over and again. So I feel like this is a lot about what this reading is going to be about. Thing is, you have a lot of good things coming forward. How do we get past this moment? Because you do have a lot of good things happening. And I don't think it's going to be that bad. But it might be like using your own abilities to your advantage and not letting people control you. And just kind of letting them learn that the hard way. Things change fast here, by the way. And some of it's going to be right out there and point blank, this is what it is. And some of it's going to be out in the ether, like, I don't know what's going on here. You're going forward. You're going from outside to inside. I feel like you're going to find out pretty quickly that people do want to control you in this situation, but you have your way to work around it. The trick is to not feel bad about it and to allow yourself to do that. As you keep moving forward with this situation, I do feel like people are trying to control you. I do see that, but the thing is with Sagittarius tends to bring a lot of success with them because you get a lot done. You just keep going. I don't know if this is a good thing to say, but I'm going to say it. Sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than to beg for permission. Depends on what you're doing. Take it with a grain of salt. You're living your own life. Because I see as you keep moving forward, you're going to see what you can and can't get away with. It's kind of like, I got to be careful with the money aspect. There's only so much money to go around, and if I spend too much, we're going to have issues. But what I spend it on, there's supposed to be rules for that. But I can play with that a little bit and get away with a lot more over there. Maybe I can't change how much I take, but I can change what I spend it on to a point. The thing is, you got to be careful not to block yourself. Don't try to make other people happy, kind of like, this is what they want me to do, this is how they want me to do it, this is when they want me to do it. You got to be careful not to block yourself with this situation. You will literally block yourself, and you also will not like the situation. The more you feel restrained, the less you're going to like it. And I also see there's a lot of random things going on in this situation. Let that work to your advantage. A lot of things happening fast. Fast and random. So if I pull it back, because we're doing the reading here, so we can take a minute to think about this. When everything's bedlam around you and you keep moving forward, let yourself slip on the rules. You're going to know you're purposely doing it. Do what you got to do. Do it for your own happiness. And just use it to your advantage. Well, it was bedlam. I had to do what I could in the moment. I had to keep moving. I just had to keep going and just, oops. Just, oops. Don't over-explain. I learned that rule when I was very young. Don't over-explain. Unless somebody is forcing you to explain, just don't over-explain. In fact, if you don't have to explain at all, don't explain at all. Do what you got to do. Let yourself be yourself. Let yourself do it the way you need to do it. When things go crazy, let it go to your advantage. Because the thing is, when you're on the other side, there's going to be a lot of success from the choices you made. Everybody's going to benefit from those choices. That's why Sagittarius tends to get away with that, is because you're successful and you have success following you where you go. Keep that in mind. Because I get, like, there is stress with it and people don't like it and people want to control you. But, they'd rather have the success than control you when push comes to shove. When they end up getting more out of the situation than they thought possible, but they realize if they try to control you, it just diminishes that, they kind of look the other way for a little bit here and there every now and then, if you follow me. People need to learn to believe in you. I think that's a thing. People sometimes want to control because they feel like they have security in controlling other people, and that doesn't always equal that. But follow your fire energy. You got your intuition at your side here. I feel like Sagittarius, things just work out for you and you don't realize sometimes why things worked out. It's because you're more in tune than you realize. I know not all Sagittarians work that way, but for some, I feel like you just get things done and you're like, I don't know why I did it that way, but I'm glad I did. You're more in tune than you realize. That might be your version of being in tune. It might be your version of intuition, just to be fair. Some people have intuition in that sense. I don't know if I really want to go down this road, but like through their actions, they just end up in the right place at the right time. They just do what they're supposed to do. There may not be a thought connected with it. They're not thinking about this or not thinking about that. They just do it and it just works out correctly. and they just did what they were supposed to do, and they're just like, I don't know why I did it that way, but it worked out perfectly. That is a version of intuition. It doesn't always have to be in your brain. It just, through your actions, that's how your intuition is expressing itself. Keep that in mind too. These are good, but like, it does make me a little uncomfortable, so let's just deal with it. Let's just go with it. Okay, so the Star card and then the Three of Cups, half in, half out. That's why I don't like it. Okay. So, be careful of... I feel like this is a hard thing to ask, but be careful to not let other people's opinions bother you too much. Three of Cups, half in, half out, that's like frenemy energy, especially if this is like a business situation or your coworkers. It's kind of like, people who are friendly, but like they also kind of stab you in the back on occasion, but then they say, well, it's not my fault. It's kind of like people who are friends that are not friends. It kind of feels like that energy's here. People saying stuff. People who are like, who will point out your shortcomings so they can move ahead and kind of like, well, it's dog eat dog. You can't blame me. It's one of those energies. There's healing with this. You don't want to play that game if you really don't have to. It's kind of like in the realm of situational morality, and that's never good spiritually. It's just not. Try not to play it, but also realize when other people are playing it. That's your healing. When you realize other people are playing it, you can play nice with them, you can be friendly with them, but realize that they're not a friend. That's not something a friend would do. Like somebody who throws you under the bus to get ahead once in a while, or like they scrutinize you at just certain points, or sometimes they just want to make you feel bad so they can feel better. Be aware of it. Even if somebody they seem to see things before they happen. Even there are people who are psychically attuned who have very toxic traits. I don't know why I want to put that out there other than just because I feel like maybe some of you out there do trust people who you think are and they probably are very psychic, but doesn't mean they're great people. There are psychic people who just aren't the best people at the same time. So just keep that in mind too. I just feel like that's why this is popping out here. I feel like I've had to learn that the hard way. Hopefully you don't. I don't know. Having some connection to divinity, I just feel like somebody can't be all bad and have connection to divinity. That's my own personal view. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that they're always going to do the right thing. It doesn't mean they're always going to be a good person about it. So keep that in mind too. Your outcome. What do we have for your outcome? Six of Swords and the Temperance card reversed, which is your card. Okay, so what are we talking about over here? With this situation, going through this door you don't really want to go with, people trying to control you, and hopefully you're not letting them do that. Where this is going to end up is you're going to get a lot more, by not letting people control you, you're going to move forward. You're going to get a lot more control of things that you might not want. That's why the Temperance is reversed. I feel like this is this is the curse of Sagittarius, but you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Sagittarians tend to not want to lead or tend to not think of themselves as the leader, yet you end up the leader. Like you're leading it, but you're like, but I don't want to be. Or you're like, no, I'm not the leader. They're like, yes, you are. You just did all this and we all just followed you. You're clearly leading. So it's kind of like being the unwilling leader. That seems to be where you're going to end up going. If you do that direction and you're going to have to make more decisions, it will make things easier for you. You'll have control of your own life. You definitely want control about the way you're going to do things and how you're going to do things. But I feel like a lot of Sagittarians, you don't really want to lead other people. You just end up doing it. It will give you a lot of opportunities, a lot more things going your way. It's easier for you to be the leader. You'll be a lot more at peace. If you have a choice between being the leader and being able to do it the way you want to and being allowed to just live it the way you want to live it versus being the follower and having other people try to control you and create all these boundaries around you that just strangle you, it's up to you which way you find is better for you. Some people like the boundaries. Some people flourish with boundaries. Sagittarius isn't usually that one, But sometimes there's a lot of different flavors of Sagittarian, just to be fair. So I feel like this whole reading is trying to gear you up to where you could go. If you step away from other people's restraints and just do what you want to do, it will lead you into a place where you'll be the leader. I think it's interesting that I swear the majority of Sagittarians that I meet, they tend to lead in some respect, and they also tend to say that they don't want to, or that was not their intention, and they don't really, some of them don't really like it, but it's just where they end up. It's a lot more peaceful if you're the leader. You're a lot happier. It's a lot happier to be the one leading and having that control to do it the way you want to versus being the follower and being people trying to control you and create all these boundaries. So it's just like a heads up of where you could go if you decide to with this situation, whatever we're talking about here. General reading, all that. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.